Hi. I saw a Dogman, a black wolf face, standing up on 2 feet, hunched over, about 6 feet tall, standing straight up. The Dogman would have been about 7 feet tall. I am 5'9", so I could tell after I went back about where its head was compared to mine on the trees. I am a registered nurse, so I am used to weighing people and asking their height, etc. It was tall and skinny, with a hump or mane on its neck. It was standing slightly turned to its left, my right. The hair was short, smooth, well-groomed, like a beagle or a Labrador dog. Its eyes were white, like they glowed or self-illuminated. At 3 p.m. on a hot sunny afternoon, 90 degrees, August 20th, 2019. I was in Freedom, north of Pittsburgh, about 30 minutes. I am a Bigfooter, ghost hunter, UFO alien pursuer, paranormal investigator. Took classes with cryptid director of the U.S.A. at Eastern Gateway Community College in Ohio. The Dogman held its paws up to its chest, limp-wristed style, with the elbows sticking out. It looked uncomfortable holding its elbows out. It did not move. It just stood there. I was in a rural area outside of town. Reports of Bigfoot activity in the area. I am slightly telepathic, psychic, whatever you want to call it. I had a feeling that Bigfoot had been in the area recently on the property, so I said a prayer. I come in peace and light and love of God. I mean, no harm or disrespect. Please show me a sign of your presence or show yourself. Please do not hurt or scare me. Later, when I am leaving in my car, driving down the gravel road to a paved road, there was the Dogman standing by the side of the road, about 3 car lengths from the road in the bushes and trees. I could not see it from the waist down due to the bushes. Normal dog paws, like a pet dog. They were not typical Dogman hands, like a raccoon or human with hair. Mouth closed the whole time, which was weird. It was not panting due to the heat of 90 degrees. It was next to a small stream. Was it drinking water? Did it hear my prayer to Bigfoot and show up? It was in the shade of a grove of trees, so the white eyes were not sun glare. It was really weird. I felt like it was waiting for me. I backed my car up a few feet to look at it from a slightly different angle. Went forward a bit, backward, forward. The last time I went backwards, it seemed like it stood up a tiny bit straighter. The first time it moved. Scared the crap out of me. I floored my car and drove out of there. I forgot to take a picture. I was so mad at myself. When I got home and realized I forgot to take a photo. Now I understand why a witness to a strange encounter forgets to take a picture. I was in shock, disbelief, perplexed, happy, scared, mixed up emotions. I thought that it was a Bigfoot at first when I was driving down the gravel road and I saw the big black creature standing there. I thought it was a Bigfoot until I saw the ears. Then I pulled my car up in front of it and I was like, what? That's a Dogman. That's not a Bigfoot. I actually was kind of disappointed it wasn't a Bigfoot. I was told by a psychic it was a skinwalker, Native American warrior. They want to be remembered and not forgotten. She said leave a Native American offering of tobacco, whiskey, and apples. She also said to pour salt around my house so it doesn't look in my windows at night. Pray to God, Jesus, to protect me. She said I will see it again. Another psychic I know said that they are interdimensional, and she has seen a Dogman twice not too far away from where I saw that Dogman, but on the other side of the Ohio River, in Hopewell, Center Township, Pennsylvania. The Dogman I saw was in Freedom, Pennsylvania, which, if I drove from that location, I saw the Dogman to the road the psychic saw it on twice. It would take about 20 minutes. This happened just last month. I'm a broker for a local real estate firm around the area. I'm gonna keep my identity concealed in case I risk anyone I know or work for hearing this. You know how things just happen to leak out. The area I operate in is a very small old farm town. With that brings a lot of the retirement community and people looking to escape insane housing prices from larger cities all around. So they come here. The terrain is high desert, lots of shrubbery, but still lots of pine. We got rattlesnakes, tons of deer, skunks, the whole gamut. Lots of cattle, lots of agriculture, lots of farming, you name it. The plus side is there are many properties out there for those looking to escape, for the folks who wish to remain out of town, secluded in complete privacy. That's what my story is about. I had gotten a call from a lady and her husband about wanting to view an older manufactured home that was an owner-carry contract, and they were interested in viewing the property. The property itself sits out near a bunch of timberland owned by the timber company and sits on a hilly 5 acres. The property has been on the market for some time now, I want to say a year, so you can imagine the owner was more than thrilled to have somebody interested in seeing it, even if they didn't exactly have the 20% down they would need. The owner would be willing to work with them. All the more reason for them to come out and see it. After speaking with the lady on the phone, we agreed upon meeting at the property the following morning. The following morning came, a beautiful sunny day in June, and I made my way there. It's off a major interstate, about 10 minutes down a winding gravel dirt road, and near the very end, up a small hill. Tucked away in the trees. As I'm pulling in the driveway, I see what clearly looks like somebody in a large werewolf costume, or a Hollywood prop, just above the back part of the house in the trees. It was there clear as day. I glanced at it, and kind of chuckled to myself that the neighbors must have stuck up a prop for fun and giggles. I pulled into the house, not thinking anything about it, and gave the folks a call. Fortunately, there was enough cell service to get a hold of her. They were running a tad bit behind and would be there within 10 minutes. No problem. I sat in my car and waited, double checking I had everything I needed to give them if this was a property they wanted to pursue. Fast forward a little to them showing up. Lovely couple. We took about 45 minutes in total, checking out the whole property, the inside, the outside, you name it. When we got to the outside and were walking around, I immediately noticed the spot that I saw what I thought was an elaborate costume or Hollywood prop was now gone. It made me feel funny. Nobody is around us. The nearest neighbors were down the road, and they wouldn't have been able to get over here without us seeing them. Besides, why would they be walking around in a large werewolf costume on a hot day in June? That's when the husband, who was walking in front of me up the incline, exclaimed and asked me if there was large wild dogs living out here. He was pointing down at the ground, right where I had seen the prop beforehand. In the dirt were these incredibly large dog prints, larger than my hand. I had never seen prints so big before. He says to me, "Wow, the neighbors around here must have some big dogs." They just continued on as if all was normal, exploring up the hillside as the property reached out further and further. I couldn't help but feel so shaken about it, although I hid it. After the couple came back down, they spent a few more minutes taking quick last-minute looks all around the premise. They ended things on a, "Well, we'll discuss it more and get back to you if this is something we want to purchase." They drove off, and I was going to give the owner a call and to let him know how it went. Right as I'm pulling up his contact info on my phone, the nearby neighbor comes walking up to me from the road and starts a conversation with me about 30 feet away. He tells me if there's people moving in. I explained that I just showcased this property to that couple. He was disappointed they left when they did. He wanted to meet them, thinking they were going to be his new neighbors. That's when he started talking about large wolves in the area. That caught me off guard. I had to ask him what he was talking about. He was so calm and dismissive about the idea of giant wolves that walked on 2 legs. I asked him, "You mean like a werewolf?" He denied that, but said these were just large predatory animals that roamed the area. They've made several attempts to get inside his house and go after his cats and dogs. He wanted to thoroughly inform his new neighbors of this nuisance around the neighborhood, if this is where they were going to settle down at. He didn't leave much room for conversation, just kind of walked back to where he came as he waved and told me his goodbyes. The whole thing was just weird. I got back in my truck and drove away. The whole time I'm thinking that son of a gun, he's pulling a prank on me about the whole wolf thing. But my mind kept going to those prints in the dirt. There were no other prints. No boot, no feet, just extremely large dog prints. They were indented into the dirt too, pretty heavily. There's no way those could have just been put there easily. And they were fresh. I might be a wimpy girl, but I do know a thing or two about tracking and animal tracks, considering my daddy hunted a ton around this area, and I grew up here. People think that because I'm a woman, that I don't know nothing, but I do. You can take it or leave it. He might have very well been messing with me, but I don't know. The entire thing just felt so weird. If there is anything else that gives this wolf thing grounds to be real, is that I have some Native American friends from the surrounding areas. All of them have told me horrific tales about being stalked and attacked by what they believe to be a Bigfoot. Each one of them, on multiple occasions. I have no knowledge if there is any truth to them. Then again, I don't go around asking people if they've had any weird encounters, so I don't really know. This might have been nothing, but I can't be 100% sure.